Yes, a very good morning to you, dear students. And today we are going to start with our cyber crime, which is our first module. In the previous lecture, day before yesterday, we studied about the syllabus and how it is designed. And we also see the difference between the offensive part, defensive part, and forensic part and law part. So now, up till now, we know about the four sub parts of cybersecurity. And apart from this, these are the major subparts. Apart from this, there are these subparts are also having their sub branches. Like if we will go in law, so there is a continuous amendment, there is a law mechanism process after every new crime. Similarly, if we will go at attacking side, so there is also an audit part. Apart from audit, there are different standards also. So we are auditing the system as per which standards. It's not like that anyone can come and audit the system and will say that the system is secure. The person who is doing auditing, who is checking the system is up to the mark, should follow a checklist, and that checklist is approved and formed by a reputed organization. Like in India, we say any product is ISO certified or not. Like when we go to purchase a flat, we check whether the building or the society or the complex is RERA approved or not. So it's like a organization which approved that whatever checklist you are following, it is as per standard. So in this way, there are number of different sub branches are there which you can select as a career. Now today we are going to start with our first module, and our first module is about cyber crimes and different types of cyber crimes. 1 minute. Yes, sorry for disturbance. Today we are going to see different types of cybercrime as per our syllabus of Mumbai University. The module 1 consists of types of cybercrime. The cybercrime against individual, cybercrime against government, or cybercrime against any organization or any property. These three subtypes are defined there. We are going to see today that. Yes, what is cybercrime? Cybercrime is the crime that have a computer, a network, or network devices. These types of crimes include viruses and DOS attacks, denial of service attacks. Whenever in a crime, if we use internet or the devices connected with internet, to perform a crime, it is called as cybercrime. Okay, so what is cybercrime? If it is having a computer, network, or network devices. And what actually they do? Actually, the type includes viruses and denial of service attacks. Means whatever ethically not allowed, if you are performing that, it comes under cybercrime. Crime that's use computer network to progression criminal activities. And this is a very important point of discussion in every country nowadays. Which thing will be considered as a crime? Some organization or people are saying that this activity not come under cybercrime, it's our rights. It's our rights of speaking in democracy. Some people will say this is the information sharing, which is a part of a business. As we all know nowadays, initially when WhatsApp come, people are joining WhatsApp group very easily and they don't have any fear or they don't have any doubt. I'm talking about before 6 to 7 years. And it's like people enjoying joining any group because they think they will get more number of audience and more number of information. But after a year and year, now no one wants to join any WhatsApp group because there are number of laws come and people face different types of attacks from a people present in the group. That's why WhatsApp also updates its security. What you can show, what you can hide. So this type of number of rules and regulations are continuously changing at every land. Now, crime that use computer network to progression criminal activities, all that come under cybercrime. Now, what is the classification of cybercrime? It can be classified into 4 major categories as cybercrime against individual, against property, against organization, and against society. So these are the 4 types of crime it is classified, and it's not the final list. We will say there are a number of types of crimes are continuously coming. Against individual, what is cybercrime against individual? Email spoofing. It is one in which email header is forget so that to pass to originate one source but actually sent another source. It is one in which email header is forget so that pass to originate one source but actually sent another source. This is called as email spoofing. What is spamming? It means send multiple copies of unsolicited mails. We can check or we can see this number of emails or in our spam folder or in primary folder also in email. We are continuously observing that, and now we people know what is a trap and how they plan the different activities. Cyber defamation. It occurs when defamation take place with the help of computers or internet. If you want to attack personal or if you want to destroy personality of someone or to propagate wrong information against someone, all that come under this category. Harassment and cyber stalking. It means following moves of an individual's activity over the internet. Following moves of an individual's activity over the internet. This the particular person, X person, is doing what? He's meeting with which type of people? He's talking with which type of people? What is the next plan? What is the next activity in business? What is the next activity in politics? So all that will be used against that person. So this also comes under fourth category, harassment and cyber stalking. Against property, credit card fraud. The credit card fraud, we already know there are a number of techniques to take the credit card details. It can be taken by a simple call, or it can be taken by without doing any calling, or it can be taken by a Google form where some advertisement is there that you will get 70% or 80% discount, and in this way they will take your credit card details, or from your the website where you are entering it and they are copying it. This can be possible also. Intellectual property crimes, these include software piracy, copyright infringement, trademark violations, theft of computer source code. So all this activity, number two, some people know about it, some people don't know, but most of the people are doing this crime, intellectual property crime. We can say whoever is using it, whoever using internet on any device, actually they are doing this type of crime, IP crime. They don't know that is any type of law, intellectual property law. If they are using someone's photo, we are number of people, we are using software which is not paid. We are using the soft copy of number of reference books. We have not taken the copyright of it. We are using trademark. We are changing the names, spellings. We are using number of different source code also of our programming. All that comes under intellectually property crimes. Third category of against property is internet time theft. It uses internet hours by unauthorized person, which is actually paid by another person. This crime, we will say someone is using an internet in any organization, and he's taking the ID or credentials, ID and password without prior information or without knowing to the admin. All that comes under crime against property. Against organization. So against individual, against property, now against organization. Unauthorized accessing of computer. Yes, the number of job opportunities where we have in cyber security, any domain, under this. Just 1 minute. Yes, see here. Against organization. So unauthorized accessing of computer. The same type of product based company want to access the information of another company, what they are doing, what's their next plan. They want their employees, they want their data, they want their client details. So all that is a very, we can say, every people or every business required it, and they are using different tools or techniques to get that information. So this is called, come under crime against organization. Unauthorized accessing of computer. Denial of service. virus attack, Trojan horse, logic bomb, email bombing, salami attack, and data diddling. There are a number of attacks are there. Okay, so we are reading or observing very few now. It continuously change. Okay, so there is a continuous upgradation, or there is a continuous we can say number of attacks comes, and the people in that domain continuously upgrade themselves. At that time cyber attack is possible and cyber defense is possible. Yes, just 1 minute. Against society, forgery, currency notes, mark sheets, stamps can be forged by computers and high quality scanners and printers. One month before only we have observed a Mahara exam is postponed because of this type of activity where someone stolen a question paper. 6 months before, same happened with the TET exam of teachers in Maharashtra. Currency notes, we are every 1 or 2 days before we are getting this type of news, the fake currencies are there. So all that, whatever, and in that, remember that to find out, stole a paper, to question a paper, to generate a fake mark sheet, to generate a currency note, all that is having computer or internet as a part of crime. That's why it comes under a cyber crime, and it is a type of cyber crime against society. Because by default we are what, it's a disadvantage for whom? Against society, against economy of country. Mark sheets, it is an injustice. Those who read or those who do a complete hard work for 12 years and 10 years, and someone is coming with a mark sheet of 90% and 80%, this is against society. And stamps can be forged by computers and high quality scanners and printers. Cyber terrorism, this is a very big problem, and use of computer resources to intimidate or coerce others. In short, cyber terrorism is finding a people and convincing them against their country or against their people, against their organization. That comes under cyber terrorism. Webjacking, hackers gain access or control over the website of another. This we have seen some days before, someone hacked a prime minister's Twitter account and put a tweet like about Bitcoin, that Bitcoin is going to approved in the India soon. Yes, the major types we studied, that cyber against which types? Individual, property, organization, society. Now we are observing a types of cyber crimes. Phishing. Or we can say is nothing but the way to perform the cyber crime. Phishing, hacking, malware, email bombing, spamming, cyberbullying, cyber stalking, theft, virus dissemination. Cybersecurity is the potential activity by which information and other communication systems are protected from against unauthorized use or modification or even theft. The definition about security, how we are going to secure it. So we have to secure which things? Remember that at that time we are able to find out which comes under crime or not. Unauthorized use or modification or even theft. Yes, this is a very important diagram. The life cycle. Detect. We can start from anywhere or you will reach to that point only. Detect. Detect means what? Is there any loophole? It is possible to attack it. After detection, respond it. After respond it, recover it. Review that whatever changes we have done as per the requirement is correct or not. Then again identify someone attacked or not, or scan the system after again getting some loopholes, protect it, detect it. So this is the cyber security life cycle of continuously checking whether we are secure or not. How to secure data? Keep your operating systems and all system software updated regularly. Do proper password management. Keep antivirus software updated regularly. Use firewall and other security software. Avoid untrusted Wi-Fi connections. Have data backup, update it regularly. And very important, avoid surfing untrusted websites. So these are the some points which is mentioned to secure data. Okay, so this is all about the types of cybercrime. Yes, Ismail sir. Just 1 minute. I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
Just 1 minute. I'm sharing our reference book from where we are going to study the types of crimes in detail. Your screen is visible?
No, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Yes. So I find out one reference book of ARP, these business types of business crimes of law school, and in that all categories are mentioned here in detail. So we are starting with the first. I will show you index. So which type of cyber crimes are there? At that time you will get the idea. See here, this is a complete list. Anonymizer, ARP cache poisoning, backdoor, backscatter, buffer overflow, bullying in cyberspace, click fraud, computer trespass, cookie manipulation, copyright infringement, craft flooding, cyber stalking, cyber terrorism, cyber warfare, data digging, defamation, DOS, DNS poisoning, Easter eggs, email spoofing. Okay, so yes, we will start with each and every one. Yes, what is this? First, we will see that. Anonymizer. People often surf the web under the illusion that their actions are private and anonymous. Unfortunately for them, such is not the case. Each time you visit a site, you leave a visiting card that reveals where you are coming from, what kind of computer you use, and various other details. Each visit of your is locked. I think most of the people have seen that when we go to some website and there comes a count that this is the visitor number 1576. Actually, they are counting number of visitors. They can also count from where you are coming. What's your address? Address in the sense, what's your internet address? Which path you follow? So that is called as anonymizer, and it's very simply explained here. Whenever you are visiting any site, actually you are giving your visiting card there, your details, your internet details, your digital details. An anonymizer or anonymous proxy is a tool that attempts to make activity on the internet untraceable. It empowers you to surf the web without revealing any personal information. It helps you. Not only does it hide your IP address and internet history, but also unblocks restricted website and lets you navigate past web filters. So it's like a hiding your identity. Anonymous person comes, visit the website, check the details, and exit. The problem arises when individuals use this to avoid the consequences of engaging in criminal, disruptive, or socially unacceptable behavior online. Illustration. So examples are also given here. Samir uses an anonymizer to log into an email spoofing website. He then sends out fraudulent emails to hundreds of people. When the police try to track the IP address in the email headers, they will trace it to the anonymizer and will not be able to track Samir. So in this way, anonymizer helps you to hide your identity and perform the cyber attack. A school in Cochin had banned Facebook usage from the computer lab. The school authorities had configured the firewall in a way that access to the site from school computer was blocked. Samir, a student from the 8th grade, used an anonymizer to access Facebook from the school computer. So it helps in bypassing the firewall also. There are a number of apps and websites nowadays we know about it. Yes, you see here, hide my, protect your online privacy now, web proxy, your VPN. So all that we can use. Two popular anonymizer are hidemyass.com and anonymous.org. So here each and everything is mentioned in detail and how the people use it to hide their identity. Many mice surf the web under the illusion that their actions are private and anonymous. Unfortunately, this is not the way it is. Every time you visit a site for a piece of cheese, you leave a calling card that reveals where you are coming from, what kind of computer you use, and other details. And many cats keep logs of all your visits so that they can catch you. This service allows you to surf the web without revealing any personal information. It is fast, it is easy, and it is free. Next is ARP cache poisoning. Address resolution protocol is how network devices associated network device associate MAC address with IP address. This enables device on a local computer network to find each other. ARP is similar to roll call in school. every network computer has two address, MAC address and IP address. MAC address, media access control, is a unique identifier. The example is mentioned here, 12 digit, that is usually hard coded into network interface card. Where it is coded MAC address is coded into NIC, network interface card, which is you will find out when you will open your system. By its manufacturer, it does not change. Whereas IP address is we studied in computer communication related dynamic address, IP address, or we can change it as per our requirement also. To know more about IP addresses, refer to the topic IP addresses DNS in the appendix. ARP cache poisoning, also known as ARP spoofing, is a technique in which attacker sends fake ARP message onto a local area network. Spoofed fake message. The aim is to associate the attacker's MAC address with the IP address of another host. This would send a traffic meant for gateway to the attacker. So it's like a associating my identity with someone else's Aadhaar number. ARP spoofing allows an attacker to interpret data being transmitted on the network. What it allows to anticipate data, passwords, credit card numbers being transmitted on the network. So with the help of this address resolution protocol, it is possible. Now the examples are there. Pooja uses her office computer to connect to an online shopping site. She enters her credit card number at the website, thinking that the credit card information will be transmitted from her computer to the website through the default gateway of the office network. Unknown to her, Samir is carrying out an ARP cache poisoning on the office network. This results in the credit card information coming to his computer instead of going directly to the gateway. The illustration is mentioned here also, how someone come in between the system and take the information. Backdoor entry. Backdoor is a means of access to a computer program that bypasses security mechanism. A programmer may sometimes install a backdoor so that the program can be accessed for troubleshooting or other purposes. However, backdoors are often used by attackers who detect themselves and or install it themselves. Whether installed as an administrative tool or a means of attack, a backdoor poses as a security risk, aiding crackers looking for vulnerable systems. Once the backdoor has been established by cyber criminals, they gain system entry, giving them complete access to all kind of sensitive information of the victim, such as his financial details, account numbers, password, etc. Such access enables the criminal to maliciously vandalize, alter, move, or delete files from the uninfected computer. So this is a backdoor about how the people will take hold on your all identity or your digital details. Backscatter, also known as outscatter. Backscatter is the side effect of email, spam, worms, and viruses. So it's like someone is sending any virus or protocols with the help of email, and you open it and it comes into your system. And once that it comes into your system, they are able to handle your complete system. This is the best understood using simple example. A worm sends out millions of spam emails using Samir's email address as the sender. thousands of these spam messages are addressed to non-existing email addresses. One such spam email is directed to pooja@example.com, a non-existent email address. The example.com email server will reply to Samir saying that pooja@example.com email address is invalid. This will result in Samir getting thousands of emails. Check. See, backscatter, how it works. Attacker tried to send a worms @ Yahoo or Gmail or whatever organization name is there. And that organization reply, automatic reply will come that this email is not invalid. But that organization check its library whether pooja@example.com exists or not and reply it. So during that process, actually they are providing a library of their own. They are providing access to their library. They are getting path. This will result in Samir getting thousands of emails. And in this way, they are getting emails. So once the people information is available, the criminals do any type of cyber crime. Information is very important. They need your any account details of social media. They need your mobile number. They need your email. Whatever information they are getting, it's good for them, because at that time they will plan it. They will trap you. They will put some false information for you, and at that time you will be attracted towards that false information, and in that case cyber crime will happen. So these all techniques about finding a information, the blue bugging, blue jacking, and blue sniffing are forms of attacks via Bluetooth. That's why the name blue is come there. Are the forms of attack via Bluetooth. Initially a threat against laptop with Bluetooth capability. These attacks later targeted mobile phones, PDA, and just about every device with Bluetooth capacity. Blue bugging allows a virtual takeover of target phone. It manipulates the phone into compromising its security so as to create a backdoor attack without notifying or alerting the phone's user, allowing the user to take control of victim's phone. Not only can be blue bugger make calls, send messages, read phone books, examine calendar, but also eavesdrop on phone conversation. So with this type of cyber attack or cyber crime, the way the technique is via Bluetooth, and they will take a complete control on a phone. The Bluebug program also has the capability to create a call forwarding application whereby the hacker receives calls intended for the target phone. Bluebug user can simply listen to any conversation his victim is having in real life. So this is all about Bluebug, and a milder version of Bluebugging is bluejacking. Milder version of bluebugging is bluejacking. It involves sending anonymous unwanted messages to other user with Bluetooth enabled mobile phones or laptop. And it depends on the ability of phones to detect and contact other Bluetooth devices nearby. So this is all about bluejacking. Blue sniffing is the theft of data from Bluetooth phone. So this is one type of crime again come under Bluetooth, where they are able to theft the data. The attacker, just by running the software on the laptop, can discover a nearby phone, connect to it without confirmation, and download essentials such as phone books, emails, pictures, and private videos and calendars. Yes, now we'll move to the next part. Buffer overflow. That you are going to study this in the CCN also, how it happens and when the traffic increase on sending information, and the TCP IP layer protocol will take care of your buffer overflow. A buffer overflow occurs when a program or process try to store more data in a buffer, temporary data storage area, than it is intended to hold. Okay, if you are trying to store data above the capacity, since buffers are created to contain a limited amount of data, the extra information can overflow into adjacent buffers, corrupting or overwriting the valid data held in them. Buffer overflow is an increasingly common type of security attack on data integrity. In buffer overflow attack, the extra data may contain codes designed to trigger a specific action. This could in effect send new instructions to attack computer, which in turn could damage the user's file, change data, or disclose confidential information. Why it is arisen? Because C programming language supplied the framework and poor programming practices supplied the vulnerability. So this is all about the buffer overflow. Illustration is also mentioned here. Several years ago, a vulnerability to buffer overflow attack was discovered in Microsoft Outlook and Outlook Express. A programming flow made it possible for an attacker to compromise the integrity of target computer by simply sending an email message. Unlike typical email virus, users could not protect themselves by not opening attached files. In fact, the user did not even have to open the message to enable the attack. The program's message header mechanism had a defect that made it possible for a sender to overflow the area with extraneous data. Okay, so basically they are putting a large number of data and data overflow will happen, and in that they put their worm and they are able to find out the information. Yes, so I will stop here now. Bullying in cyberspace. One more I will take and then we will finish the lecture. Cyberbullying is when the internet and related technologies are used to bully other people in a deliberate, repeated, and hostile manner. This could be done via text messages or images.
इधर होता उधर होता हाँ उधर ही रहेंगे
Okay, okay, please off your mic. Okay, okay. Hello, please off your mic. Okay, so cyberbullying is what? To bully other people, target other people, and it's now it trending in from last 1 week. We know about it. So this could be done via text messages or images, personal remarks posted online, hate speeches, instigating others to dislike and gang up on the target by making them the subject of ridicule in forums and etc. Posting false statement in order to humiliate or embarrasses another person. Cyberbullies may also disclose victims' personal data, example, real name, address, workspace, or school on websites. Cases of piggy hacking on victims' identity are now common. This could be used to publish objectionable material in the name that defames or ridicules a subject. So all this comes under cyberbullies. A legalization geared at penalizing cyberbullying has been introduced in a number of US states, including New York. So I think in the Mumbai police also done the same action against this type of people. And here in example, it is mentioned a legalization is geared up. Means what? All these not come under IT law. Therefore, there is a continuous amendment is required in IT law, which we discussed in the previous lecture. Yes, I stop now here and I will send you the attendance link. Yes, Ismail sir, are you there? Yes, Aman, what you have sent? Yeah, okay. Yes, Aman also share the Hindu news article. It is showing that the cybercrime attacks in pandemic by 500%. Okay, and now you can think that why it is increasing 500%. That more number of peoples are coming online and they are doing more number of stuff. If you will observe, the more number of video games, the more number of lottery games are there in the market in this 1.5 year. Just 1 minute. Attendance, you people got the attendance link? मिला आप लोगों को?
नहीं सर नहीं
No,
मिला।
Okay.
no, sir.
Just 1 minute. Ismail sir will share Zoom the attendance link. Yes, you can check. The link is in the chat box.